Christine.
Una cosa importante.
So it's the same thing. We have a
Christine Noam.
Una cosa importante, que es una decisión.
so it's the same thing. We have a
Today, staffers for the U.S. Agency for International Development
to all the employees at USAID.
Watching live coverage
through USAID over the past several years.
Of USAID. The head of DOGE, Elon Musk, called USAID a
Christy Noam.
to go in terms of a guarantee. We want a guarantee. We're handing them money hand over fist. We're giving them equipment.
Thank you. Well,
2014, there are riots in, it's called the Madon Rebellion in Ukraine, which we're not told that
Every
See the light. We will bring the fire. Resist!
We are going to be in your face. We are going to be on your asses.
we have
talking about the deep state and things, talking about the deep state.
Patrick, for your whole career.
to go in terms of a guarantee. We want to
What's going on, everybody? Here we go. Another episode of Make the Right Play. It's me. It's Los. What's going on? We got the coach on my left. As always, we got Yabui behind the camera making everything work. Shout out Yabui Media. And we're here. We're buzzing. Coach, what's going on? How we doing?
I'm winning, baby. That's how I'm doing. I'm winning.
You're winning. You're winning. A lot of crazy stuff here. A lot of crazy stuff. I mean, we have so much stuff to talk about.
Oh,
it's
so
really
much,
unbelievable.
Dude, every time I try to write the show, there are like 500 other things that are so exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, Carlos, it is so exciting. It's like one thing, another thing, another thing. Like this morning, I was like, do I finish doing this? Because I know like 5 other things are going to pop up.
I know. You love to hit me with those last minute clips. We were talking about it last week. You like to hit me the last minute stuff.
But we did like 75% yesterday.
Yes, we were a little more prepared. We're figuring it out. We're figuring it out. I mean, the show is growing, so we're trying to get a little more creative and try to, add or look like the other shows that we see on YouTube and on Rumble. So we're trying things a little bit differently.
We're not trying to be like the other shows. We want to be better than the other shows.
Well, with the thumbnails and stuff, I feel like we're trying to be like.
All right, yeah.
I hope you prepped today, Carlos. All the Super Bowl talk today. Yeah, I'm a little more prepped. I feel a little better about it today. Hopefully, it's stressful. It's stressful trying to figure all this stuff out. But we're here. We're here for another episode. We're here for a good show. And I mean, oh my gosh, there's so much to talk about. There's so many crazy things. And I mean, we could just jump right into it here.
Well, I mean, today, I don't have any clips from like exactly today because it was so crazy.
Yeah.
But I was very excited that Trump said the war on women's sports is over.
The war on women's sports, yes, because there was such a massive war on women's sports. That's
Listen,
so
what happened
that was
to
such
that
a
boxer,
massive thing.
What happened to that boxer in the U.S. Olympics? Well, not the U.S. Olympics, the World Olympics.
In the Olympics, yeah. It's a world event, Coach. It's a world event. It's not just U.S.
Terrible. Like she got beat up in like 45 seconds. Plus, Olivia
I think it was quicker.
basketball.
I think it was quicker than 45 seconds. Could have been like 20 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, but my daughter Olivia loves to play basketball. Could you imagine if some guys decide they're going to play basketball against her? She wouldn't have a chance. Let's be honest.
Well, I mean, some people think that women can compete in men's sports. They try to make that argument once in a while. A liberal will make that argument nonetheless.
Liberalism is a mental disorder.
Yeah,
so
I know.
We're not going to take those arguments seriously.
It's for real. But so he signs the executive order banning men from women's sports, which is absolutely needed. I mean, guys. Those liberals like to talk about science. Follow the science, man. I mean, that the women they're not built the same as men, so they shouldn't be in the same sports as men. But so he signs that executive order. That was massive.
I was very happy.
I mean, the highest number of enlistment into the armed services in 15 years.
In 15
people are ready,
years.
are joining up. They're ready to get going. I mean, why wouldn't you? I mean, Trump is going to take care of you in the military. He's not going to send you to a place you don't need to be. He's not going to send you to Ukraine or some BS. He may send you to Gaza because we're going to take over that strip.
To the
Talked
new
about
Riviera.
that a little bit today. He's going to send you out to Gaza because we're just taking that strip over. I mean, honestly, though, the two-state solution is such a failed idea. The idea that Palestine and Israel can live in simultaneous peace, that has been the most BS crap of all time.
They've been doing it 50 years. 50 years and it hasn't worked. So, I mean, the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Right, exactly.
It's not going to work. And I feel that he's going about it the businessman way of thinking about things, which I know a lot of people are saying, Leesan, what do you mean the businessman way of thinking? I'm thinking he's going to be like, have you ever heard the story of the stone soup? Where the guy goes into a strange town and he doesn't know anybody and, nobody will give him any food. So he makes a fire and he puts some rocks and some snow and he's, boiling these rocks. So somebody in the town goes, what are you doing?
Time out. He's boiling rocks?
He's boiling rocks. And they said, what are you doing?
Boil a rock?
He's making stone soup. So they're like, well, you know what might be really good in that stone soup is maybe some onions. And then somebody else, what are you doing? Before you know it, the people in the town start giving him all these ingredients in order to make the stone soup better.
Right.
And guess what happens? He takes a taste and he goes, this is the best stone soup I've ever had. And I think that's what Trump wants to do with Gaza. He wants the people who live in that region to take some responsibility, maybe take some Palestinians in, because if they think, oh my gosh, we could have the next Riviera right here in the Middle East, they might more be inclined to help and be part of the solution rather than part of the problem.
And you don't think that they're going to just try to blow up that Riviera at some point?
No, because if they all have a vested interest. I mean, the people are funding the terrorists.
Right.
So if they invest money into it and make it beautiful, and the Palestinians have a nice place to go back and live, but they go there to live in peace, because they'll be working there and it'll be a nice place to live. That's going to incentivize peace.
Yeah.
And in the meantime, while they rebuild it, it will incentivize the other countries to help the Palestinian people and give them a place to stay while they rebuild it.
The other countries, like you're saying, like Egypt and like Lebanon?
Egypt, especially. Jordan, right? I think Jordan would like to be a part of the new Middle East Riviera. I don't know. I just feel.
I don't know.
Listen,
I think those countries all could care less,
it's
to be
like you want
honest.
to put out a big idea, and maybe people might want to be a part of something that could be great.
Yeah. Yeah,
so that's what I think. It's just like the stone soup. All of a sudden, it's like stone soup. I can't wait to try this specialty.
Yeah, I guess I could see your point. I think that maybe it is beautiful there. Like honestly, the landscape and the being right on the water there, it does have a lot of potential.
Gorgeous.
I don't foresee that working out very well.
You know what would be the best part if he is able to create this beautiful thing?
What's that?
It would create so much. It would create the ending of the deep state. There would be no more deep state because of the instability. They've been making millions and billions of dollars off of the instability in the middle. Millions
and billions of dollars. Going right to the minerals will be needed from the asteroid to match up with the robotics that will be incorporated, replenishing the water supply. Like the aquifer, it is the only way. Also making space is armed and ready.
Listen,
what's going on?
That might be true, because let me tell you, that's why the people have to move out.
Right.
That's why it's going to be a lot of work. But I got to tell you, this would also stick it to the deep state, because then they won't have the excuse of these never-ending wars in the Middle East.
Right.
Where, I mean, remember, we're paying for the bombs in Iran, we're paying for the bombs in Israel, we're paying for they're
paying
making
for
money
everything.
from both
We'll
sides.
pay for anything. We'll cut a check for nothing.
So I think it's a great idea, to be honest with you.
Yeah. No, I could see that. I mean, listen, this is just one of the crazy ideas that have come out so far this week. I mean, this week has been insanity, literally right from the time we ended the show. Because we ended the show last week, and of course, what happens an hour later? We have a massive plane crash, commercial plane crash. First time in how many years there's been a commercial plane crash?
Well, it was a Black Hawk helicopter flying into a commercial
airline.
jet, right?
Commercial airline.
And we see the Black Hawks all the time on the beach. Like when we go to Pensacola, the Black Hawks sometimes fly by.
Once in a while.
I see them all the time because I go to the beach all the time.
You
are
at the beach
and
quite often.
one day I was dropping my daughter off at school, and a bunch of Black Hawks went over, and everybody was like, "Oh, what's going on?"
It is cool when they go over. They bring a sense of they pack a sense of American exceptionalism when you see that thing fly over. You're like, "Oh, damn, we kick ass."
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we show the video from a different vantage point where the Kennedy Center was?
Oh my gosh! So this video was really interesting. We're gonna get into our theories, but let's show this video, clip 1 here.
Scott's ready to book an oceanfront suite.
So this is the video of the plane crash here, and it just
the helicopter flies right into it.
Yeah, so we're gonna get a little hate for.
Well, the helicopter flies right into it, and the guys who gave the video were arrested.
Yes, the guys that did give that first video that we watched, they were arrested. It was reported by CNN. Those guys are in custody right now, but. So he watched this plane crash, and the minute I saw it, I was like, "Oh my God, like what is this?" And I watch it over and over again, and the more I'm watching it, I'm like, "Man, like it really looks like that helicopter like doesn't make any attempt." And I'm obviously I don't know too much, but I know that a helicopter, that a Black Hawk helicopter can move, right? And at
they can move.
That altitude, right? You're 600, you're below 300 feet altitude wise for that commercial jet. That commercial jet, that thing isn't moving. Like that's locked in to try to land at DCA. That helicopter's got to move. And when I listen to the things from the airport tower, the recordings of the audio, the guy says that he sees the plane. Like he's like, I see the plane, like I'm looking at it, I see it. And it almost like, I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy, but it looks like he doesn't even make it an attempt to get out of the way.
Well, they said the helicopter was flying 150 feet higher than it was supposed to be flying.
Right.
So that right there is a little bit of a red flag. They said that they tried to reach them, but they weren't getting a response back.
But I mean, all the audio comes out, and they make contact with air traffic control. So, like you hear them say, "I see the plane and I'm moving." Like he says it. Like he says that he sees the plane. So to me, if he says I see the plane in the air traffic control video, he's like, I see the plane.
Well, maybe they saw the wrong plane. They were looking at a different plane.
Maybe.
Right?
Your boy was saying that earlier, that maybe he was looking at a different plane. I don't know. James, yeah, you reached out to me. So James Barber reached out to me, and he's in the chat with us here. He said that there's some like tech or whatever that back when those drones were flying over New Jersey and everybody was talking about it, that like I guess the tech was throwing off some of the radars and the altitude readers on the helicopters, that they were saying that they were lower than what the radar was showing, and they were higher than what the radar was showing. I don't know.
They were
You saying that there was
50 feet higher, for sure. That's for sure. But the one thing is that right away we learned that Chief Warrant Officer Andrew Lloyd Eves and Crew Chief Staff Sergeant Ryan Austin O'Hara.
There you go.
Their IDs came out right away. They were identified.
Right.
But the family wanted the third pilot for that ID to be withheld for a little while. So they honored the family's wishes, and then they identified the third pilot as Captain Rebecca Loback as the third pilot, right?
Rebecca Loback.
Now, the thing is she was a Biden aide. I'm just saying. I hope she wasn't suffering from TDS or anything, because you know how TDS really is a real thing. And her family, all of their social medias were scrubbed, as well as her social media being scrubbed. So I have to say, I find it a little suspicious that they revealed the identities of everybody and they withheld her identity and made sure that her entire social media was erased before letting everybody know who she was.
Yeah, no, I
find that a little suspicious. I don't know. I mean, I can't say anything about her because everything's been erased, but I don't think that's normal.
I agree with you. And that's where I kind of just like, the more I think about it and the more I see the videos and things like that, like that's where I'm like, this just seems odd to me when I watch these videos over and over and I see different angles. Like, that's not the only angle that's out. You can go out and find different angles. It just seems to me like it was almost like that helicopter did not get out of the way. Like, it almost seemed like it purposely crashed into that commercial jet. And I don't know. I don't, put a tinfoil hat on me.
They didn't want to show that vantage point. They only wanted to show the vantage point from the Kennedy Center, but these guys worked for the airport, and they recorded it off the security footage, and they sold it to CNN, and they got in trouble. So they didn't even want people to see it going from that vantage point where it just went directly into that plane.
I don't know. Chat, what do you guys think? We have a ton of people hanging out with us right now. Let us know what you guys think. Do you guys think that, it was just crazy town and they just crashed into each other? Does it look like,
she's just inexperienced?
Maybe she's inexperienced. She's a bad pilot, and it's like, what are you doing even flying that thing? You're a Muppet?
She was literally escorting Ralph Lauren for the Presidential Medal of Freedom just a few weeks earlier.
Well, then she must be experienced if she's escorting Ralph Lauren.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
he must be the shit then, if you know how to fly a plane.
Well, I was doing a lot of research and I really couldn't find anything on her.
Yeah.
But I will say that Trump is teaching everybody about the art of the deal, baby.
Oh, he is. He's giving a lesson. He's taking a lesson right here.
I mean, everybody was like, the Panama Canal, he'll never make a deal. He sent little Marco over there.
Little Marco.
And in less than a day.
Yep.
They made a deal. Why don't we show that video?
All right, let's show
the
the Panama president talking about his discussions with Marco Rubio.
Una cosa importante, que es una decisión que adopté y se la comuniqué. El memorándum de entendimiento del año 2017 sobre la ruta de la seda de Belt and Road Initiative no será renovado por mi gobierno. Eso es así. Vamos a estudiar la posibilidad de si se puede terminar antes o no, pero creo que le toca en 1 o 2 años la renovación, porque es cada 3. Así que esa iniciativa que se firmó, cuando se firmó, en el tiempo que se firmó, no será renovada por mi gobierno.
Goodbye, China.
Creo que esta visita abre un camino para construir una nueva etapa de relaciones. Así lo veo yo, así lo sentí de parte del secretario Marco Rubio.
Marco Rubio.
Perfect.
Let me tell you, I bet you anything Marco went there and spoke to him in Spanish.
You think so?
Yes,
he was like, what's up?
I sure do. I'm sure Marco was like, hola, bendición. And right away... I don't think he said bendición, but...
And then right away, he was like, fuck the Chinese. Let's just, we're just going to do business with you. Right away, instantly.
I
That was it.
Little Marco went there, and the two of them,
Right.
they had their Spanish roots. And then he's like, "You're right.
You're right. That's
Screw
it.
China. Screw China. Who cares
We're
about
done
the
with the
Chinese?
Chinese. We're done.
Us Spanish people, we are number one. Yes, Marco.
And that's what happened. Just like that. I think that's perfect. That's inside the room right there. That's inside reporting right from the room.
Allegedly.
Inside the room reporting right there. What exactly what happened?
So that's what I think. I think Trump picked Marco. Part of the reason is that Marco knows how to speak Spanish.
Yes.
And he's like, I need to make good with the Latin American community, and I'm not sending some white boy to do what a Spanish person should
I'm
be
not sending
doing.
white boy John Kerry.
Right. He's
We're
like,
sending-
Elon, I'm sorry, this is not for you.
Yes, that's how you do it. That's how you do it. But listen, I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe because, and I always emphasize this all the time. We've talked about this on the show. We've talked about it out. I always emphasize all the time. You have to have respect for who you're dealing with, right? You can't be so like disrespectful and just being like, it's my way, the highway, and kind of just being, not showing the respect to the people you're dealing with. And I agree with you. I think Rubio going, he was probably talking, speaking Spanish with him and showing him the respect. And then that's why he's like, you know what? We're not going to deal with the Chinese anymore. We're going to go back with you guys and we're going to get this done.
I got to tell you one thing about the Spanish people.
What about the Spanish people?
Their attitude is there's the Spanish and then there's everyone else. That's their attitude. So that's why that little, trying to brainwash people into thinking like you're this poor little... No, that doesn't work with the Spanish people.
That doesn't work.
Because they feel like it's the Spanish and everyone else. And even Nietzsche, it pissed them off.
Yeah.
Nietzsche was like, now the Spanish have gone too far. Because they are, like, they talk about the Nazis. The Spanish people are very full of themselves type of people. They really are.
I have to say, I mean, they may be very full of themselves, the Spanish, but the Mexicans backed down pretty quickly when Trump imposed those tariffs.
They sure did.
They bent the knee.
They sure did.
Like, it was like a day. They bent the knee. And then Trudeau, that little pussy, he bent the knee too, right about a couple hours later. He bent the knee. But it was very quick. It was very quick. Everybody was, complaining about the tariffs and the tariffs. This will never work.
It didn't even last a day. All the bitching.
It was literally 48 hours.
Everybody was complaining. Oh, you think things are expensive now? Wait until the tariffs come. And I'm like, why don't you give Trump a chance to do his thing? He's a millionaire. You ain't shit. So shut up.
Crying it out all over.
My gosh.
Oh, my groceries. You think the groceries are because people don't get it, and that's what drives me nuts a little bit too. It gets me so frustrated because the dude went to Wharton School of Business.
Yes.
He has run a successful business empire.
Exactly.
He's done this before. He's been president before. He knows how the game is played. He knows how things work. And he's putting the American people benefit first. And he's like, these tariffs are going to make other countries pay for what we've been paying for forever. And then everybody goes and bitches. And they're like, he doesn't know what he's doing. He's an idiot, blah, blah, blah. And instantly in 48 hours, the two countries that he put it was instant. They bent the knee. They were like, all right, we're going to pay for what you want. What do you want us to take care of the border?
Honestly, Carlos,
no problem. We'll get that done.
Continued, Trudeau isn't actually doing anything. He said he was going to do stuff, but as of right now, he's still a little slow.
Well, then we'll bury them.
Watch it. So don't be surprised if something happens to Canada in the near future. Even though China, they said that they're not bending the knee because they're probably still pissed about the Panama Canal.
The only thing that's going to happen with the Canadians, they're going to become a state. That's about it. That's what's going to happen. But let's see what Trump was saying about it in the Oval Office. He was talking a little bit about what's going on. Let's go video 3.
So it's the same thing. We have a $250 billion deficit, and we have a lot of people coming into the border, and now we've largely stopped that, but we've stopped that ourselves. I think they've done a fantastic job. You've seen the numbers have dropped to almost zero. But we've suffered under the past administration for years and years. We've suffered with millions of criminals coming into our country. Criminals, people from jails from all over the world. They come through Mexico and they come through Canada too. A lot of them come through Canada, and a lot of fentanyl comes through Canada. And China makes the fentanyl. China makes the fentanyl, gives it to Mexico, puts it through Canada, puts it through different places, mostly Mexico, but also a lot through Canada. And so all three haven't treated us very well.
Like, that's a good point that nobody talks about. The Chinese do create a lot of fentanyl.
Of course they do.
And nobody talks about that. Everybody talks about the cartels and about the drugs coming in, but talk about where the source of the problem, and that is the Chinese.
Well, I'll tell you, Carlos, since Trump's been president, there's been 446 illegal border crossings. 446
total.
And it was how many thousands? Total. Tens of thousands would remember. And Biden said, "I'm sorry, I can't stop it. Only Congress can stop it. I can't stop it."
And I'm sure those people have been apprehended too.
Huh?
I'm sure they've been apprehended too. The illegal crossings.
Well, I mean, it went down to 446.
Yeah,
How
right.
could you not stop that?
Right, that's like
before
snag.
they were coming in, it was a wave.
Yeah.
And now 446, and that goes to show that Trump can get things done.
We'll
and Joe
take
Biden
446.
was lying when he said he needed Congress
We'll
to do
take 446 all day long.
it. I mean, it is fantastic news.
Yeah, 100%. It really is. But listen, I mean, we need to really talk about, draining the swamp in this country. And what are they doing right now with USAID? Oh, boy.
Well, Carlos, first, you know what we have to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Nobody voted for Elon Musk. Nobody voted for Elon Musk, this unelected official. And all I keep thinking is, who the heck was the president when Joe Biden was president? How many people said Joe Biden's not really running the country? Who's running the country, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody had an idea. But yet we have all these deep state operatives who have been running the country behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So they're upset because Elon
and DOGE
got to go into the Treasury.
Yeah.
He got to actually go in the Treasury. He's doing read-only, and he's able to see where all the money is spent. So as he's doing his investigations,
right,
he looks at USAID.
Yeah.
And he says, you know how you see an apple and there's one bad worm in the apple, so you just got to clean out the one? He goes, I look at USAID, and it's just a whole bowl of worms. It is the most disgusting organization, and it needs to be closed immediately.
Close it up.
This happened over the weekend. So you came home and I said, we got to look into this USAID. Like Elon is saying that it's really a mess.
Right.
Holy smoke. I had no idea exactly how terrible USAID was.
Yeah.
It is shocking.
It really is shocking. And I have to admit, hand up, I really didn't know too much about USAID. I really didn't pay attention too much of it. And now, with all this, like I've really looked into it. And this is a criminal organization. It's a criminal organization. That's what it is.
Run by deep state people. And you don't know the personality of somebody who's working in the deep state.
Yeah.
So there's a video by James O'Keefe, who he will show you exactly what their mentality is. They're above the law. They don't feel like they report to anybody.
Right.
They're the government.
They don't bend the knee to nobody.
No
man.
So, your boy, we have to play this
Clip
video.
4.
Number 4, please.
Christy Noam. So the secretaries can set the priorities for the department. They can't actually tell us what to do. We don't agree with those priorities. There's a lot of room for interpretation in terms of how we interpret what those priorities
are. A lot of room for interpretation for what we determine those priorities are, or priorities to be.
Well, that's the deep state attitude.
Yeah.
They don't think that they have to answer to anybody.
Right.
And their attitude is, oh, Donald Trump, screw him, we're in charge. He thinks he's in charge, but we're really the ones who are in charge. Just like that guy thought, oh, Kristi Noem's coming in for the Department of Homeland Security, we're in charge. She's not really in charge.
Yep.
Well, Elon Musk, the unelected official, our favorite NOG, took care of business and showed the people what he did.
He sure did. All right, let's go. We want to show the people what he did. Let's go. Clip 6. Clip 6.
Today, staffers for the U.S. Agency for International Development, known as USAID, were told to stay out of the Washington, D.C. headquarters. USAID staffers said they tracked 600 employees who reported being locked out of the agency's computer systems overnight. Elon Musk said on X Spaces this morning, the agency is beyond repair and must be shut down. USAID administers billions of dollars in humanitarian development and security assistance in more than 100 countries. USAID security chiefs were placed on leave after refusing to turn over classified material in restricted areas.
All right.
So hold on. So we got to play clip 5 because they go to Trump on the tarmac, like in the middle. They're like, excuse me, Donald Trump, what's going on here? I hear that they're closing USAID and the employees can't go into their emails and something's going on. Listen to this response.
All right, let's go clip 5.
It's so funny.
USAID or what's going on there?
Well, it's been run by a bunch of radical lunatics, and we're getting them out. USAID, run by radical lunatics, and we're getting them out, and then we'll make a decision.
We're getting them out, and then we'll make a decision. I like that. We're getting them out, and then we'll make a decision.
And then we'll make a decision.
But you got to talk about your big clip that you were all excited about yesterday, that was kind of breaking down what USAID really is and how nasty this organization really is. From top to bottom, just disgusting. Between interfering in foreign elections and deciding who's going to be heads of state. Like, it's really bad.
They funded COVID-19 research.
Yes.
They literally
in
funded.
China.
They're like the
In
linchpin.
China.
You know what they are? They're the piggy bank for the CIA and the deep state.
That's
like like getting access to my checkbook. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, it is the heart and soul of the finances of the deep state.
Yes.
So I watched this gentleman. His name is Mike Benz, and he's super intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
He used to work for one of the government agencies, and I listen to him a lot on podcasts, and I follow him on X.
Yep.
And they put this really great video to explain everything. It's about 3 minutes long, but I want you guys to bear with us and watch it because it'll teach you everything you need to know about USAID. It's worth it.
All right, it's worth it. The coach says it's worth it, so we're going to this clip. Let's go clip 7. Bear with us. This is a good kind of little insight into what USAID really is.
It was USAID that I fear much more than the CIA, because the USAID is how CIA gets shit done.
USAID is clearly in the job of trying to bring about regime change. It has secret bank accounts, shell companies.
USAID gets $50 billion a year in U.S. taxpayer money. That's a larger overt fund than the CIA has.
Christ.
USAID perhaps is the new CIA.
Have we ever tried to meddle in other countries' elections?
Oh, probably.
This is not just about over there. This is about here.
They have a process, a system by which they destroy other nations, and they use that same process and system in order to destroy the United States.
It's a plot against our own people.
America, what if I told you that the United States government was acting like the world's Gestapo, using organizations like USAID under the pretense of humanitarian aid to topple governments, install politicians, and orchestrate regime changes in third world countries?
I disagree with that as somebody who has helped plan coup d'etat. Yeah. Not here, but, other places.
These are places that are practically entirely run at this point by the CIA and the U.S. State Department, which is, of course, a CIA front.
USAID provides most of the money.
This isn't a giveaway.
The State Department provides the policy vision.
This makes a difference to people's perception of us. Tricky endeavors, whether it's fighting terrorism,
Al-Shabaab groups in USAID camps,
or narcotics.
Joe Biden's State Department is commanding the Taliban to keep the opium flowing.
Or oppression or resistance to governance.
Those USAID trucks were stopped at the border to Venezuela with fully automatic weapons.
All of those things.
I don't think that's humanitarian aid.
What a difference that makes.
And if we stand for democracy anywhere, we have to stand for it everywhere, including in Guatemala.
Guatemala. What if I told you that USAID, the State Department, and the CIA created a fraudulent political party and then used that illegitimate party to rig the 2023 Guatemalan election so they could install a list of CIA-controlled politicians who would continue to allow them to run the world's largest child trafficking network out of Guatemala?
Nothing to do with that? Correlation, not causation? That is absurd.
They didn't deny it, which means that they admitted it.
This is no question, a political shocker in Guatemala.
The U.S. government, the Biden administration, helped cover up voter fraud.
Why Guatemala? Why not some other country?
Guatemala is concerned about child trafficking, the NGOs that are trafficking the children.
Jill Biden was the chairman of the board of Save the Children.
You guys just raided Save the Children.
Guess who stepped in? The State Department, U.S. Embassy, and USAID. Another coincidence?
America. What if I told you that DHS, under the direct orders of Alejandro Mayorkas, would create a public-private partnership with Mexican cartels, and that HHS, under the direct orders of Xavier Becerra, would create a public-private partnership with NGOs like Save the Children and Southwest Key programs. And in this quasi-public-private partnership, they would use your tax dollars to fund the world's largest international child trafficking operation.
As to whom we know where they are, that is outside the responsibility of the Department of Homeland Security.
This is nothing but lies. Nothing but lies.
Secretary Mayorkas, he acts like none of this ever happens.
It's his policies that caused over 500,000 children being smuggled in this country.
And he also knew who to blame.
HHS places those children.
That's on you.
Was that a question to me? Are you familiar with the sponsors that utilize a strip club as an address?
You shrug your shoulders and then send another batch of kids out to sponsor.
Human trafficking bust at an egg farm. Federal prosecutors call it modern-day slavery.
Of course, we investigate cases of trafficking.
Another lie.
Another lie.
These people are demonic, okay?
There we go.
They're demonic.
She's fired up.
They do not follow the Lord Jesus Christ. And you better get it. There's not the government that's the highest authority. The highest authority is God. It's Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior.
Tell
and that pisses me off.
Coach.
And that's why 500,000 children are missing.
That's why.
You better stop being so twisted in your head and start going to church and start praying right now. Because this country has been doing some very evil things, okay? Very evil things. And the freaking Democrats, the demonic National Party, is there crying, oh my God, USAID, what are we gonna do? They tried to break in. They're freaking out. They're freaking out. You know why? Because they know that we're gonna find everything out. They know that the receipts are in that building. They know that the emails are there. They won't even let them in the building because the evidence is there and we're shutting it down.
The name is there.
We are shutting it down. Let me tell you, this country was founded on Judeo-Christian values, okay? And we're bringing it home to Jesus, baby. I'm sorry, that's who we're bringing it home to. We're bringing it back home to Jesus, and we're going to start living a good life again. I'm tired of this shit.
Right.
I'm sorry I used the curse word.
Coach, that was intense right there. I got fired up with that. I got fired up with what I said.
Listen, when it comes to the children, and
that was it. When I saw them piling those kids into the van, I thought you were going to flip the table.
Well, thank God I watched it a couple times already, because every time I watched it, I would start crying at home. And I would get so upset, and I'm like, how could these people be so evil? But they're demonic.
They're demonic.
They're demonic.
We talked about how demonic they are. I mean, we said it was the demonic national convention back our third episode. It is. It's disgusting. It is a crime scene. You're 100% right. We been had. I mean, it's true, but we knew that this is how they are, and the Democrats will always find a way to convince themselves that it's okay, and then they'll go and they'll attack the Republicans, and they'll attack somebody who supports Trump and supports putting an end to this bullshit. They'll say that you're the problem and you're the issue with the country. They'll always turn it, but what do we always say? The Democrats will accuse you of exactly what they're doing, and that's what they do all the time. All the time. What was their first reaction to seeing all those celebrities and everybody on Epstein Island? Oh, was Trump there? Was Trump on Epstein Island? Was Trump hanging out with all those kids? Right? That was their first reaction.
And then they'll have the media
lie. How disgusting we are. It's, well, Trump, look, let's try to find Trump. Let's see if Trump was there, which he wasn't. But they try to, figure out and find a way to pin him. But the USAID, USAID, it stands for U.S. Agency of International Development. It is designed specifically to take care of everybody else. And what does taking care of everybody else mean?
Carlos,
toppling governments,
they're not
doing
taking
this and that.
care of anybody else. They're
Rebuilding.
a demonic group of people that send money overseas to create chaos and confusion. That's what they're doing.
Create chaos
they're creating
and confusion,
chaos and confusion. And wherever there's chaos and confusion, that's where the devil is, baby. And what are they doing? They're toppling governments. They're starting wars where millions of people die in. They're stealing the children. They do all kinds of dirty shit. But you know what they do that's really sick? They control the media. They control the media. So then if you try to report about what's going on, you're a conspiracy theorist. You know what, you boy? Why don't we show number 8, video 8.
Video 8.
Biden's Ministry of Truth. The Minister of Truth.
I'm talking about the deep state and things. Talking about the deep state and things like that, which is a thread among conspiracy communities here in the United States, that there is this secret cabal here in Washington working to undermine the American people. It couldn't be farther from the truth as someone who works with and around public servants.
Couldn't be farther from the truth, Coach.
Did anybody else see the horn coming out of the top of her head? Because I know I sure did.
The horn?
She's a freaking devil. She's a liar. And that's what they do. You're a conspiracy theorist. You're a conspiracy theorist. Yep. That's what you are. You're full of shit, a deep state. We just saw the guy at the Department of Homeland Security saying how, listen, we don't even freaking listen to these people. We do what we want with the deep state.
Right. You and RFK. Conspiracy theorist.
Oh, of course.
You and RFK right next to each other hanging out.
It came out because we had Pravda in our own country. So that was Biden's military, Biden's Ministry of Truth, Nina Janowitz, right?
Yep.
Then we have Politico got paid more than $8 million by USAID.
Yeah.
They couldn't even run their payroll today because they didn't get their payment because you know what? That's government news. How sick is that? I remember when I was young, I don't know if you youngins were taught this, but we used to be taught about Pravda, like, oh my gosh, the Russians, they're such evil people. They give fake news to their people. They don't really let them know what the truth is. That's what we're doing in this country.
Do it all the time.
And USAID are the ones who are paying for it.
You think they're going to pay for us? You think that we'd get a check from them? I don't know. You
honey,
called
please.
them demonic national.
The demonic national.
Yeah, I don't think they're cutting you a check.
Oh my gosh, but Carlos, they have global internet censorship that they're paying for.
No,
like
it's true.
These people are really sick.
Yeah.
Then they even paid celebrities to take pictures with Zelensky to con us into thinking that, hey, the war in Ukraine, we got to be on Zelensky's
we got to be on that
side.
team. Yep.
You know?
Yep.
You saw they funded the heroin in Afghanistan.
It's true.
They used HIV prevention programs as a cover for undercover agents planning to topple governments in Africa. Okay? They literally set up fake AIDS prevention workshops in Africa in order to mess with their countries, and we all know what a mess Africa is. Thank you, USAID.
The military under Joe Biden and Mark Milley openly plotted to incite race riots in Africa, then used the USAID to swoop in and give striking protesters no-show jobs on taxpayer time so that they could keep getting paid while striking and protesting in the streets. That's some fucking bullshit. Why are we paying for fucking protesters in Africa?
Exactly.
For Christ's sake, that's BS. Like, that's bullshit. That's the shit that really gets you mad. That's stuff that really gets you pissed. Well, that you're struggling to survive day to day here in the U.S., but your tax dollars are going to pay for people on strike in Africa, in a third world continent. I mean, let's be real. It's a third world continent, for Christ's sake. You're lucky if they invent the wheel over there.
But you're missing what's so important about Africa. They have a lot of natural resources.
Right, 100%. Yes, I know that.
And Africa
I know that.
is one of the most richest continents in the world.
But all their
that
countries
are just,
are
and
poor.
we're probably ruining it for them. They probably can't get their shit together if you have USAID messing with them.
USAID, yeah. I mean, that's true.
You know? I mean, look what
That's
they did
true.
to Brazil. They got rid of Bolsonaro with all the internet censorship going on. Remember, Elon was having a big fight with them, and they had the crooked judges. You had Bill Kristol, the big conservative, right?
Yeah, Bill Kristol, little prick.
He used to do what was it called? He did, like all the Never Trump Republicans.
Yeah.
All the Never Trumpers. He was on the payroll for USAID. Right? Because what did he do? He had, he runs the Rockefeller Philanthropy
That's what you're looking for. That's the word we're looking for here. Philanthropy for advisor. You're just fired up, Coach. It's okay. But I mean, look, Hunter Biden's even on the payroll.
The Wuhan labs.
Like, it's some bullshit. This is just nasty.
They paid $20 million to dirty journalists to put Rudy Giuliani in jail. Look at Giuliani's life right now.
This is the reason. USAID and this bullshit right here is the reason why DOGE is created. Is for this particular purpose right here. This is the purpose on why we created DOGE and why Trump was like, this is why we need this. Because Trump knew about all the bullshit spending that the U.S. was doing, and he needed to put an end to it, and he probably would have done it back in 2020 if he got his second term. But now that he's here, he's like, I'm just going to do it.
No.
I'm going to have Elon take care of it.
No, you know what happened, Carlos?
What happened?
It was a blessing that they stole the 2020 election. Because what happened is Trump was trying to play ball with this evil cabal back when he went in 2016. So when he said, listen, we want to check the books for USAID, they didn't even let him in the office.
Yeah.
They took him to court. They wouldn't let him audit it at all. Imagine the president of the United States. Then they steal the election. Then he gets shot. They try to kill him. He gets shot in the head. All of a sudden, Elon's like, man, this guy is freaking amazing. And I'm Dark MAGA, and I want to help. So then guess what happens?
Yeah.
Elon goes, and he brings in a bunch of nerds, and they're finding every disgusting thing that the Democrat Party has been involved in for the past 20 years. And it's sick. And just when you think it's as sick as it could be, it gets even sicker.
It gets even sicker. Well, the Democrats are already on the offensive, trying to defend. I mean, let's go clip 9 right here. You have a congressman calling out Trump and the BS.
Well, to all the employees at USAID, thank you, thank you, thank you. You keep America safe. and you help people all around the world. And I want to apologize. I want to say I'm sorry that you have to put up with this offensive bullshit coming out of this White House.
The offensive bullshit coming out of this White House.
But look what they said in the chat. How about the WEF? It's true. Yeah. Even the WEF they gave money to.
Mm-hmm.
You really think the World Economic Forum needs money from us? They're despicable. They're all satanic.
Yep.
The bullshit from the White House.
Well, I mean, listen, now that we have little Marco as Secretary of State, he said we need to do a full, investigation. We need to figure out what the hell is going on with this organization now that he's running the show. He agrees with Elon. I mean, let's go to him right now. He says it right here. Let's go. Clip 11.
Of USAID. The head of DOGE, Elon Musk, called USAID a criminal organization and added that it is time for it to die. Do you agree with that?
They have basically evolved into an agency that believes that they're not even a U.S. government agency, that they are a global charity, that they take the taxpayer money and they spend it as a global charity, irrespective of whether it is in the national interest or not in the national interest. One of the most common complaints you will get if you go to embassies around the world from State Department officials and ambassadors and the like is USAID is not only not cooperative, they undermine the work that we're doing in that country. They are supporting programs that upset the host government for whom we're trying to work with on a broader scale and so forth. So they're completely unresponsive. They just don't consider that they work for the U.S. They just think they're a global entity and that their master is the globe and not the United States. And that's not what the statute says, and that's not sustainable.
Yeah. I mean, it isn't sustainable, and that's what we're talking about. And that goes back to the James O'Keefe video, where he's like, if we don't like the agenda, fuck that agenda. We'll do whatever we want. We don't care. So that goes right back to what the James O'Keefe video said. These people, the deep staters, feel that they could just do whatever they want, and there's no repercussions. Well, that time is over. That time is over now. We have DOGE, Trump's here. The time for that is gone. Pam Bondi is in as Attorney General. That was a big fire up.
Hopefully she'll get into the bottom.
The time is over.
They weren't even giving the money to the people. They were lying and saying they were giving the money to the people, but they were stealing. Let's listen to Zelensky himself talking about all the aid that he's received.
Right. We're thinking we're giving all this money to Zelensky. Let's see what he says.
Number 14, you boy,
14.
Дивіться. Я коли чую, і раніше чув, і сьогодні ми чуємо від Сполучених Штатів Америки, що Америка дала Україні сотні мільярдів, 177, якщо сказати більш точно. Така звучала точна цифра, яку підтримували або голосував Конгрес, тощо різні організації. Дивіться, я як президент воюючої країни вам говорю, ми отримали більше 75. Тобто 100 мільярдів з цих 177, або 200, говорять навіть деякі люди, ми ніколи не отримували. І це важливо. Бо ми говоримо про конкретні речі, бо ми отримували це не грошима, а зброєю. Ми зброю отримали на 70 з чимось мільярдів. Є навчання, тренування, є додатковий транспорт, є не тільки ціну на зброю, були гуманітарні програми, соціальні тощо. Але коли говорять, що Україна під час війни отримала 200 мільярдів на підтримку армії тощо, це неправда.
This is not true. So where is that money going, Coach? Where is that money going? Well, I feel that the answers are hiding right in the USAID room.
Well, you know what I think?
I think the answers are sitting right there.
Oh, for sure they're sitting right there. And I'm sure Zelensky has a little money himself, too.
Oh, yeah.
That
no
he's
doubt.
like, I don't know where it went. I don't know where it went. But
that's not my best friend.
But what's so funny is that the whole situation in Ukraine, how do you think it all started? Why don't we have Bobby Kennedy give us the answer to that?
Fellow conspiracy theorist. Fellow conspiracy theorist. Put on your tin hats, everybody. Here we go. Bar FK Jr. Let's go right to him here in clip 15.
2014, there are riots it's called the Madon Rebellion in Ukraine, which we're not told that we are financing those riots. The newspapers never told us, our government never told us. USAID, which is a CIA front, put $5 billion into funding those riots. Those riots lead to a coup d'etat against the first democratically elected government of the Ukraine. It was a government that refused to choose sides and to say we're going to be on the side of the West. So we wanted them out. A month before that government is overthrown, Victoria Nuland, who's the part of the centerpiece of the neocon ideology and who is now a high-level official in the State Department, has a secret call with the U.S. ambassador, which is tape recorded and is now public, which anybody can go and look up, where she is picking the new cabinet for the Ukraine, which is which is a U.S. Western cabinet. So they're picking the new government a month before the old government is overthrown.
Is that how democracy? Is that democracy when Victoria Nuland picks her government?
Well, that's the point. Is USAID doesn't really do, and the CIA don't do democracy. The CIA has overthrown, I think, 83 governments between 1947 and 1997. That's a third of the governments on Earth, and most of them were democracies. Oh, it doesn't.
83 governments?
Yes.
83. Like, that's just unbelievable. 83 governments. Guys, enough is enough. It's time to get on the train of America first.
Well,
it's
listen,
time.
Everybody wants to know where the money went. So I'm going to show you where the money went.
Show us, Coach. Where's the money? Show us where the money
16.
is. 16. Show us where the money is. Where's the money? Oh, there it is. There's the money.
The Democrats on the congressional floor.
That's the money? That's where the money is?
Those same Democrats that are crying in front of the USAID building right now were the ones waving. Yeah, keep this war going, baby.
That's where the money is, huh?
Keep this war going.
Keep this war going. That's where the money is.
That's where a lot of the money went. To the evil Democrats.
To the pockets.
Wake up, people. They brainwash you. They pay for the media. They do the MK Ultra on you. And half of you aren't going to church.
The MK Ultra.
They are. And
They do
half
the
of you
MK
aren't
Ultra.
going to church, so you don't have the gift of discernment because you are not answering to a higher power.
Wow,
You're
Coach.
depending on the government, and that's why it's so easy to brainwash you. I'm just telling you the truth. It's true. People need to get some God in their lives.
Wow, Coach. Get some God in their lives,
Get
Coach.
some God in your lives because that's why it's so easy for you to be brainwashed.
Get some God in your life, for Christ's sake.
Yes. It's true. Well, this is not going to just be for free, all the help that we've given Ukraine.
It's not going to be all for free.
So I think
It's time
we
to
have
pay.
a solution because Trump is like, okay, Zelensky, you may not have the money, but you're going to have the money. So let's show video 17.
Let's show 17. Pay that money.
To go in terms of a guarantee. We want a guarantee. We're handing them money hand over fist. We're giving them equipment. European is not keeping up with us. They should equalize. And look, we have an ocean in between. They don't. It's more important for them than it is for us. But they're way below us in terms of money. And they should be paying at least equal. They should really be paying much more than us. But let's say equal to us. And they're billions and billions of dollars below. So we're looking to do a deal with Ukraine where they're going to secure what we're giving them with their rare earth and other things.
Yeah.
The rare earth. BlackRock, their heads exploded in their offices when they heard that.
BlackRock, yeah. It's true.
Because they invested so much money into Ukraine. And now Trump's like, and by the way, we're getting the rare earths.
We're getting the rare earth. That's what we're getting. No, but I mean, he's 100% right when he's like, Europe is so behind and they really should be paying more than us because they're right. There is an ocean. Yeah. There's a big fat ocean on both sides between the U.S. and Europe. And we're paying for everything hand over fist, taking care of everybody. The Europeans don't pay for shit. Yeah. And that time has passed. It's over. I'm done rolling. But you know what's going to happen? And this is where everything gets crazy is because they're going to turn to the Germans. They're going to be like, well, you got to pay. The Germans have to pay because that's the only country over there that makes any money is the Germans.
Because they're the hardest working people.
Germany, you're gonna pay it out now. You're gonna supply, and then the German people are gonna get pissed and say, well, why do I have to take care of everybody? Fuck that. You know what? I'm just gonna take that country over because I pay for the whole country anyway.
Let's not get crazy. Let's not get crazy.
And then they're gonna walk in, and then it's gonna be
the Germans of now.
That's what happens, though. Let's look at history. History repeats itself.
So
everybody, history repeats itself. This is what happens when you make them pay over and over and over again. They're like, fuck you. Now I'm just gonna take you over.
All right. Well, let's hope that's
what
not
happens.
the case.
The Germans get pissed. They get crazy. That's what happens.
Well, you know what I kind of felt like this weekend? I have to say, changing the topic away
from the USAID and the Germans?
Well, because you brought up being taken over. So I'm watching the LA, California on the TikTok.
The LA, California on the TikTok.
On the TikTok, on X.
That is
and
a
guess
show?
what I see? No, because I like to do the swipe.
So it's just
I do the swipe.
It's LA, California on the TikTok.
Yes, and the freeway.
General.
And I just see a bunch of Mexicans and Mexican flags. So we got to show the videos. We have to show one of the videos. So let's show video.
Scanning 4.
Yes. Oh.
No.
No.
That's okay. I was
number 18, please.
Let's show 18. What's going on in LA on the TikTok? Oh my. Oh.
Look, that's scary.
That's a smash window.
And even other flags, too.
There's not one American flag.
Not one American flag.
Not one American flag.
So all these people who are not American, who are insisting on staying in this country,
right?
Not one American flag. Why are you waving the flag? Go back to your country where your flag is from.
Yeah, represent that flag.
Why are you here shutting down the freeway in my country?
Mm-hmm.
Go protest in your own country. Be the change you want to see. But how dare you start shutting down a freeway in my country, waving your country's flag, and bitching about how we want to send you back to your country.
Yeah, it's true.
You know, when in Rome, honey, when in Rome.
Yeah.
So then, finally,
right.
I couldn't believe it. I said, did the mayor from LA grow some balls or something?
Oh, with this next video here.
Yes. So
she was taking no prisoners with this video.
Number
this is
19.
interesting.
I have to say, I think I like Karen now.
All right, let's show number 19. Oh, wow. Look at those strong men there.
A lot of them look so out of shape.
They look so out of shape, right? Oh, my goodness. Yeah. I mean, that's just, oh, boy.
I mean, it is
Oh,
serious.
boy.
And they're doing it like every single night.
Yeah.
And they're chanting for their country. They're not, it's like, I'm sorry, but I feel like I should have went on that freeway and sent everybody back to Mexico and back to Venezuela, whatever country they were from with their flag.
I agree with you.
And it would have been very easy to deport them all, honestly. If you want to be a citizen of this country, I recommend at least wave the American flag.
I agree.
At least do that.
It's true.
You know?
It's true. I mean, it should have been like, oh, what flag you got there? All right, that's where you're going.
Well,
that's what I would have done.
Exactly. I would be like, okay, you ship them to that plane, you go to that plane, you go to this plane.
Yep.
But you know why I think they chose last weekend was because of the Grammy Awards.
Yeah, the Grammy Awards were big that weekend. That's true. That was on Sunday night, which, oh my God, the Grammy Awards. Talk about some fucking bullshit. Don't get me fired up on the fact that Beyonce won Best Country Album and Best Album. That's some BS. That album sucked. I stand by that.
I don't listen to any of the
let all the
music.
Beehive come at me. That album was dog shit. And Cowboy Carter, terrible. Just all flat bad. Like that was talk about DEI.
Listen,
that was some DEI awards.
I tried to watch it for a little while,
Dog shit.
and then when I saw the woman on the pony and the people on the ponies, I was like,
Chaperone? You didn't like
done.
Chaperone?
Yeah, I guess I'm not a fan of hers. But I did watch one where it was a rapper, and it had like very Broadway vibes to it, and I liked that one.
Very Broadway vibes
It had
from the
Broadway
rapper?
vibes to it. It was like Broadway with rapping, and like she
Really?
was good. I don't know her name. I don't know any of these people's
I
names.
didn't know
I'm
her
old.
name.
I'm 50. I'm 51 years
love
old.
that. I didn't know her
I don't know
name.
any of their names.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, some of the
I don't
outfits,
know. Doge? Is it Doge?
Doge?
Doge.
Doge from Tampa, Florida, representing Tampa, Florida. Representing Tampa, Florida. I thought she was good too.
I thought she was really good, and I'm watching it, and I'm like, now this is entertainment, baby.
I agree.
And it had like a little bit of a Broadway thing going.
I agree
so
with
I really enjoyed that. But then I'm looking at some of these outfits. We have to show a couple of pictures because tell me the reason why all these Hollywood people are Democrats. You could tell by their outfits. Let's go to the first one.
All right, let's go to the first one.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I need to give you...
No. We'll go Chrissy Teigen. So this is Chrissy Teigen's outfit.
Boy, this lady.
I'm trying to figure out how to drop these...
Look at that outfit. That outfit is horrible. Doesn't that look like an S&M outfit?
Yeah, it does look like an S&M.
I mean, what man is like, let me escort my wife in public wearing that outfit? But then Kanye said, hold my beer. Hold my beer.
Oh, you want Kanye? Yeah,
so let's go to the next
hold
picture, because this was shocking.
See if you can pull it up, you buoy, of Kanye's wife. Yeah, this was everywhere. This was actually the biggest thing. This was just ridiculous, Kanye's wife's outfit. I mean, and did you see that they got thrown out because they weren't even invited to the Grammys?
No, he just showed up and was like,
they weren't even invited.
And then left.
Yeah, like it was just so bad. Like it was really just unbelievable.
I mean, it was such a mess.
Yeah,
like I really was. So if you don't have that video, but anyway, you can go on the Google. And Kanye's wife literally was naked on the red carpet.
Yeah,
I mean, some of these outfits
it was everywhere.
Were just insane. And I did see Jade Smith with the house on his head.
I have.
It was like an inflatable house.
Yes, I have it. It's sitting
like
right there in that corner. This was Jaden Smith's hat and outfit. This was just unbelievable here.
And it had like a bounce house vibe to it, you know?
It did have
like,
a little bounce house
like
vibe.
For a little
yeah,
mouse.
There's Jaden Smith sitting in between us. That's him. Look at that. I mean, that was... how do you just go around wearing something like that? Like, I just don't understand. I mean, it really is just bad. It's bad.
These people are mentally ill, honestly. They're mentally ill. Don't tell me that they don't have a screw loose.
It's really, I mean, this is just...
And to parade your wife in front of people naked, you're mentally ill. I'm sorry. Then there were people dressed up. They had like, I don't know if they were trying to go the opposite. So you had naked women, and then you had people who were like dressed like they were in the Victorian era or something.
Oh, hold on. This is your Chapel Roan right here. Hold on. Let me see.
Okay. Oh my gosh, look at that naked woman.
Wow, you buoy.
What that is?
But we having some class, not showing the full picture. That's a classy move. That's why he's our producer right there.
Well, I put the fuzz in front of it. Did you get a different picture?
No, that's a classy picture right there. Come on, just give it to me, man.
All right, well, forget it.
Because I can't figure out how to fucking drag on Mac. Such dog shit.
Well, anyway, so
give me a mouse. I need a fucking mouse on this thing.
That's what was going on in Los Angeles
Christ's
over the
sake.
weekend.
Yeah, no, but I mean, listen, the big topic, I know we're going into Super Bowl week. We got the Super Bowl this weekend.
Yes.
And we got to talk about this thing because we talked about it. We talked about it last week a little bit about the controversy with the refereeing.
Yes.
And, you know, I thought personally that it was just a bunch of crybabies that are just like, oh, they're going to, you know, it'll pass.
I don't know.
But it's
I kind of felt like there was a little shadiness going on.
It's really blown up, like massively blown up this week. I mean, I saw today on a podcast, Terrell Owens went on there, and Terrell Owens was talking about, you know, how many, you know, the calls that the Chiefs have gotten throughout the years. It's really just been crazy. So Super Bowl Media Day was the other day, and one of the big guys, Dove Klemmerman or whatever, he's a big time football personality on Twitter, went and made some comments over to Mahomes and was letting him know.
Let's see it. I want to see that.
So let's go over here to clip 28. I think it was clip 28.
Patrick, for your whole career, you have had so many great people help you win. So who is your favorite ref?
That's hilarious. All the refs are great, man. All the refs are great. They do the best they can. And go out there and play the game the right way.
Is there one that you give a Christmas card to every year, possibly?
Not that I can remember. I'll have to talk to some of my teammates and we can try to figure it out.
Like, that's just, and they were all getting questions like that. Like, the whole day, they were just getting bombarded with questions about, you know, the refereeing and them, you know,
that guy's
paying
a
off the
class
ref.
act.
He is.
He's a class act. I have to give him credit for handling that. So
bounced right off of him.
Yeah, he just laughed all the way to the bank.
Laughed it off. Listen, I'm taking the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the pick.
Well,
the
yeah,
Chiefs
if you
are the
have
pick.
the refs in your pocket.
Come on. I mean, I'm hoping the Chiefs just bury the Eagles on Sunday. That's what I'm hoping for. I hope Barkley just gets buried and the Eagles suck, and I can't stand the Eagles. So
go Chiefs!
We're rooting for the Chiefs. I'm rooting for T Swift. I'm rooting for the Chiefs. I can't stand the Eagles.
She's a devil herself.
Oh, well, haters gonna hate, I guess. Shake it off.
Oh, well.
Shake it off. But speaking about celebrations and the great state of Florida, the Florida Panthers visited the White House and visited President Trump. And I have to say, I really liked Matthew Tkachuk is his name, and he's representing Team USA at the Four Nations Face-Off next week. And he spoke, just about how proud he is to be an American. Let's show that clip. I really enjoyed this clip 29. This guy's a class act.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Mr. President, for having us today. We greatly appreciate it, and being one of the few Americans who loves this country so much. This is such an incredible day for myself, and you wake up every day and really grateful to be an American. So thank you.
Really grateful to be an American. We'll go right into the next clip too, Yabui, just showing them what they brought to President Trump. They brought him a little gift here. Yeah. They brought him a gold stick. Poor Trump, he looks like, he's having trouble holding that stick there. And the jersey. So it's just, just another little, American
Do you think Melania's
awesomeness.
going to slap him on the ass with that stick?
Oh, you think
he's getting his ass slapped.
You think it's going to get a little crazy?
I bet he was hey, honey. Because real powerful men, they like to have a dominating woman sometimes.
Oh,
so I bet
Coach.
you that stick, she's
Jesus
like,
Christ.
who's the bad boy down now? Who's the bad boy down now?
Jesus Christ. Getting crazy here, Coach, talking about that.
Oh, my favorite are when the hockey players come and drop off new sticks, baby.
Oh, yeah, she gets fired up about that. I think she likes having the hockey guys. She is Eastern European. I'm sure she loves having the hockey guys around.
Oh, I'm sure.
Reminds her of being back home a little bit there.
But he looked real happy getting that stick, man.
Yeah. No, it's true. I mean, it's really... Let's see what happens. I don't know. But that is no doubt he's getting his ass slapped, Scott Miller. No doubt he's getting his ass slapped. Oh, God.
It's so funny.
Jesus Christ.
But it's true. Remember the
With that gold
Daniels.
stick. Yeah, Stormy Daniels. We're smacking him around. That's
those
true.
real powerful men. That's what I hear they're into.
That's what they're into, I guess. Who knows? Well, Coach, I mean, listen, another great episode. Tons of views tonight. So I really appreciate everybody hanging out in the chat. The chat was buzzing. Clap it up, chat. Really appreciate you guys hanging out tonight and chatting with us. Guys, make sure you guys are liking. Make sure you like and subscribe to the video below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure, guys, if you're watching on Rumble, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that follow button.
Please.
Follow. Guys, we're on Instagram again. Remade the Instagram account. We're back on Instagram. Meta let us back. And so we're back on Instagram. Make sure you guys go follow us on Instagram. Follow us on X. Follow us on TikTok. We're everywhere. Wherever you guys have a social media account, you can find us there. So make sure you guys go follow our pages, share us with your friends, send. Say, look at these two idiots. Look at these two conspiracy theorists with our tinfoil hats. I'm not saying that, but even the liberals,
okay?
You have discernment.
Look at these two followers of Jesus Christ who know what time it is.
These two followers of Jesus Christ.
The Democrats are losing their minds. You know why? Because
They
they
are
don't go to
getting fired
church.
up.
They don't go to church. They don't pray. They're losing it. And they're blaming
You
Trump.
don't think the Democrats go to church at all, huh? I mean, the Catholic Church is so goddamn liberal. You think that a lot of them...
How dare you say goddamn?
It's
I
true.
can't believe your language. We have to have a talk about this language.
True.
The point is,
I know
maybe they're fake
you
Catholics, I don't know.
protect the
But the whole
the
point
Pope.
is that we have
Pope's
to...
little ass.
Let's not start about the Pope.
Coach,
but
don't.
the
I'm
point
gonna get fired up.
Please go to church, pray for our
Pray it
country.
out. Pray it out.
Pray that we all follow Jesus and start to use the gift of discernment. And please don't start defending that USAID network.
Yeah, don't.
Okay? Really, watch the
It's a
show
front.
again.
It's a front.
And when they say we didn't elect Elon, well, we didn't elect whoever was running the country when Joe Biden was president either.
We did, though.
Joe Biden?
No, Elon.
Well, yeah, because he went on the campaign trail.
Trump said, he's going to create a department to, this was all part of the plan. We knew that privatizing, and creating a new sense of government spending was part of the solution. That's what we voted for.
All I'm saying is don't get brainwashed. Really think.
Really
okay?
think.
And
Really
we
think.
want America to be great again. We want to keep the money. We don't want to use it to topple other governments and abuse children.
That's true.
Okay? And bring fentanyl into the country.
Amen.
Because that hits close to home for a lot of people where they've had relatives who have died of drug overdoses.
Coach, we can't have you continuously seeing these children piling in the vans.
I can't.
I can't have you getting fired up like this.
It really makes me sick.
You know, you're on the road to recovery with that leg. We need you in good spirits. We can't be having that here.
But I really love our country, and I hope you love our country too. So let's pray for our nation.
Yes.
God bless America.
God bless
God
America.
bless Donald Trump.
God
and
bless
let's hope that we get his confirmations in by the time we meet next week.
Yes, all of them. RFK, Tulsi Gabbard. We got Pam Bondi in, which is a big win. But let's get the rest of these guys in there, and let's start cleaning up this country, man. There's a lot of stuff we need to be cleaning up this country.
Absolutely.
So
All
amen
right.
to that. Guys, same time, same place next week. You know where to find us. YouTube, Rumble, and Facebook will be live. 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Central. You know where to find us. This chat better be buzzing. This chat better be double next week. Everybody like and subscribe on the bottom. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Follow us on Rumble. Hit that follow button. Hit that share button. Everybody better hit that share button and be sending us out. And follow us on all of our socials. Every social you have, you better be hitting that follow button. Make the Right Play Podcast. And we'll see you guys here next week. Next Monday, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. We'll see you next week, guys. Everybody, have a great evening, everyone.
And thanks, you Bowie, for all our videos.
And shout out Yabui. Let's go, Yabui Media.